Today I'm gonna react to comedians making disrespectful jokey jokes about us Germans. First one's by this comedian named Norm Macdonald.
There is one country that worries me though. Not Iraq, not Iran, not North Korea. The only country that really worries me is Germany.
Germany! Why would you be scared of Germany? Hey, I think we Germans are the cutest people now. We're overcompensatingly nice, we make nice cars, and we go to techno clubs for 78 hours and drink each other's piss. We're nice, likable, relatable people now.
I don't know if you guys are history buffs or not, but
yeah, we get it, you know. Yeah. Probably not, you're in America, dude.
Part of the previous century, Germany decided to go to war. Who did they go to war with? The world.
Yeah, because we're an ambitious people. Aim for the stars, maybe you're gonna reach the moon. That's kind of like a saying in Germany we have, yeah? Reiche nach den Sternen und vielleicht wirst du den Mond eines Tages erreichen. It's a saying my grandpa always used to say me.
You figure that would take about 5 seconds for the world to win, but no, it was actually close.
Also, factually not right because Germany did not declare war. It was Austria. Once again, Austria started war. If you're a history buff, Austria declared war on Serbia and then Germany, to be fair, we got a little carried away, I'm not gonna lie. But Austria started it and now we're getting blamed for it. It's like we're getting framed for something. We're like O.J. Simpson.
Then about 30 years pass and Germany decides again to go to war, and again it chooses as its enemy the world.
Hey. Ambitious people, once again.
And this time they have that guy, Schrankly, Crankly, that guy, and I'm not even going to dignify him by saying his name, but I think you know what I'm talking.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen. Yes, we did bad things. We did this is like a one-time thing, two-time thing if you're being a Nazi about it, okay? Germany had a big oopsie-whoopsie, a big one, a big oopsie-whoopsie, right? But other than that, we've been doing pretty good, right? I'm just saying all the bad people in America, you know, like add that up, that's maybe one Hitler at some point. You know, if you add up like Jeffrey Epstein, Jeffrey Dahmer, Ellen DeGeneres, maybe like Diddy, Kanye, Andrew Jackson. If you combine all that shit, then maybe that's one Hitler. One Hitler at some point. So, by this comedian named Maximini. They are laughing and this one guy is not laughing, which makes me think he must be the German, you know? Look at the people's faces. They're laughing so much, wasting so much energy, but this guy is locked in. If there's a zombie apocalypse or another war, I count on this guy.
You need to relax.
You need to relax. That's a horrible thing to tell a German. Don't tell us to relax. That's like telling a Latina to not be so emotional. It's not gonna end well.
Looks like you swallowed a cane.
Swallow cane.
Relax the body, yeah. You're focused on what?
He's focused.
It's a comedy show. Germans, I'm focused. I don't want to miss the joke. I am so focused, I'm not laughing, so I remember the joke. I go home.
He sounds Turkish when he does the German accent.
I play the joke. Ooh, I go ha 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 ha. I will laugh later.
Look at him, she's pointing at him too. You know what I found so beautiful about this? Is that even in this moment when he's being called out, he maintains his composure. He's a stoic German, yeah?
Germans in the world, they're the smartest people in the world.
The smartest people in the world? What about Asians? Okay, never mind.
Who's jealous? What is the problem? You don't think so? Well, what's your country? Iran? You think we're the smartest? Be humble.
Be humble?
The first time the focus guy smiled.
By the way, if a German gives you a thumbs up at a comedy show, that is the equivalent of an American giving you a standing ovation while laughing and crying. This never happens. We don't do things like that. We don't do any like positive reinforcement and things like that. My mom never told me any of that shit, you know what I'm saying? She never told me she loves me or anything. The one thing my mom told me though, she told me that I could be worse as a son. And that's when I really was like, I mean a lot to her.
For the first time he lost his focus, he goes, yes, you're the smartest.
Well, okay. I think what you take away from this video is that the German was very humorous. He made a lot of people haha. I think we Germans are funny, just not intentionally, you know? We're funny by the way we are, and I think that's definitely his credit. All right, I would say, Maximine, this joke was not bad, yeah? Could be worse, could be worse. Okay. This video about Trevor Noah.
I learned German to connect with my father, you know, lost contact with him for many years because of apartheid. And so now we're starting to learn each other, which is taking time, but we're doing it slowly. I think the language will help me because I don't think he's proud of me. He loves me, but I haven't earned his pride.
No, Germans, they're never proud of you, and they never tell you that either. The only time my mom was proud of me is when I chopped down a piece of wood with my first swing. She came up to me, she looked at me, and she goes, "Not bad."
As a comedian, I don't rank that high in the world of German anythings.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I'm a comedian too, and like people don't know that's a job in Germany. Really, there's not a lot of German comedians, but I knew that I wanted to be a comedian when I saw this super funny guy on German TV. His name was David Hasselhoff, and I was like, wow, I want to be like him one day. And that's when I started working on comedy.
So I started learning. I learn in different ways, you know, to watch German movies, play German speeches on my iPod when I sleep. Your brain remembers things you don't even know. It's beautiful. The only hiccup was, turned out I downloaded some of Hitler's speeches. So I learned some of his nuances. I've been told that when I speak German, sometimes I sound distinctly Hitlerish.
So here's the thing with Hitler's speeches, right? He's misunderstood. No, I'm kidding. Hitler's not even German. He's not German. Sorry. Hitler's from Austria, okay? They gave Hitler to us. And now all that people associate with the German language is all because of Hitler. But nobody speaks like this. Nobody speaks like Hitler. Nobody speaks like this.
Which I found out in Germany, which is not the best place to find out that you've got Hitler vibes. Would have rather found out at home.
It's hard to find out you have Hitler vibes in America because I feel like a lot of people have Hitler vibes. You know what I'm saying? You can be autistic Hitler, you can be orange Hitler, Elmo Hitler. There's too many Hitlers right now.
Walking around, and I went into like a little sandwich shop, you know, like one of those subways where you make your own sandwich. And I walked in, the woman was really nice to me. She was like, Guten Tag, kann ich Ihnen helfen?
See? That's how Germans speak. Guten Tag, kann ich Ihnen helfen? Because that's how Germans are. We're friendly now. After everything, we're trying to overcompensate a little bit, you know?
I looked at her and I thought, confidence, Trevor, confidence. Guten Tag! Ich will ein klein Brötchen haben, bitte schön! Das schwarze Brötchen und ein Pepsi-Cola trinken, bitte! I'll never forget the look in her face. She looked me straight in the eye and she said, der schwarze Hitler!
It's the Black Hitler. Dude, Black Hitler, can you fucking imagine, dude? Badass. Hitler, black. Imagine what he would do. This is gonna be problematic if I make jokes about this now. I probably shouldn't. I can't do it. But yeah, that's the misconception about German. It's like nobody speaks like Hitler. We don't even roll the R. Austrians roll the R. So fuck Austrians. Dude, they really messed it up for us PR-wise. Right? They outsourced Hitler to us. They rejected him from art school and then, you know, we're all stuck with Hitler. Now we have Hitler. We had Hitler. We didn't have him anymore. Argentina has him now. Jokey joke. Now we're going to continue with Troy Bond.
Do you think that's supposed to hurt my feelings, saying I'm not funny?
Oh, she sounds German.
Okay, if I could see you,
You are not funny. That sounds like an entitled German lady. I'm from Germany. I knew it.
Okay. Oh, the person from Germany doesn't like the Nazi jokes.
It's a true fact. We Germans were a little uncomfortable with Nazi jokes because we have so much guilt. I get the girl. She's getting a little uncomfortable, so she's projecting her guilt onto him, yeah? Which is not a good thing, but I'm playing a little bit of devil's avocado right now. I feel like Diddy's lawyer a little bit, you know, like, listen, dude, you always gotta see the other side, you know? And the fact that I can make jokes about Hitler and stuff like that is because I have lived in America for a long time, so I've been ruined. But you Americans wouldn't know about this because you obviously have nothing to feel guilty about. All right, let's talk more.
They don't got no comedy clubs in Germany. What's the material gonna be like at a German comedy club? Knock, knock, who's there? Doesn't matter, open the door, now!
That was a funny joke. If he did this material the whole time, I'd love it.
Why did the chicken cross the road? He was following orders!
This is following orders. True, because why else? We always wonder, why did the chicken do it? It seems stupid, but of course, if the chicken had orders and if the chicken doesn't follow the orders, then it dies, then of course it's gonna do that.
I'll give you one more try.
You are not funny. You are not funny. She sounds like my mom. Mom, were you in the audience? Was that you? Somebody was commenting, as a German, I can confirm that the chicken was indeed following orders. It's just, see? What a funny comment, right? This is a funny making a jokey joke, and I hate these stereotypes where Germans aren't funny. As a German, I have to admit that I love my suspiciously narrow mustache of watching this. Very good. All right, next video. Seth Meyers.
And there was a German audience member, and afterwards they came up to me and they said, do you often do a German accent on stage? And I said, yes, I enjoy doing a German accent on stage. And they said, how would you feel if you saw a German comedian doing an American accent on stage?
Good question. That would make you not feel good also.
And I said, I'm never gonna see a German comedian.
Hey, what do you mean a German comedian? Don't make it sound like that. I'm standing right here. We have amazing German comedians, okay? Here's a list of the top German comedians, okay? We have David Hasselhoff, okay? But we're getting better, okay?
Like, what is the series of events that would have to go wrong in my life for me to like walk into a club as someone on stage is like, make some noise for Klaus! And then then I'm like, I'll stick around for this. And then I'm sitting in my seat, and all of a sudden he's like, and then Americans are like, I would like 20 chicken McNuggets.
That's literally my act. I have an American accent, and I can't do an American accent. All I say is I'm like, all right, all right, all right. Yeehaw! That's about it.
Anyway, after that very rude answer, he regrouped and he said, well, how about this? Would you do an African accent on stage? And I said, dear God, no, I would never do an African accent on stage. And he said, where is the line? And I said, where is the line for what accents a white comedian can do in 2024? The borders of Europe.
Oh, I think the borders have to be redefined by Joe Rogan. I feel like now you can joke about a lot more things. I think you can get away with doing an African accent. I've seen like Louis C.K. do it, you know?
That's the line. From Finland to Italy, from Portugal to Ukraine, I wouldn't f with Turkey. That's the line. And you can have a healthy comedy career. Here, I'll show you how it works. Here's my impression of a Swedish person ordering from a Chinese waiter. Yes, hello. Do you have the chicken chow mein tonight? No, we're out of that.
Not bad. I don't know how to feel about this, man. You know, it's funny. I guess it's funny. But the German is just always the butt end of a joke. And I get it. We're easy to make fun of. But I don't know. The comments are like, Mario, Adrian, enough said. A lot of people are commenting about me, which is super sweet. And there's one comment, Mario, Adrian, you should meet the amazing German stand-up artist. And the comment is, Hildematt is saying, naja. Which naja is the funniest German word. It basically means like, well, so-so, right? When you're kind of questioning something in a passive-aggressive way, it's like, naja. Like every German girlfriend I had, when I was like, oh, this was a great time we had. This is a beautiful sexual experience we shared together. And she'd always be like, naja. That means that it was really not that good. All right, there's a video by Drew Lynch.
They will oftentimes make the announcements both in German and then in English. In that order. German and then in English.
That makes sense because you're at a German airline. Yeah, of course we're going to do German first because we have a saying in German, we say Deutschland zuerst, which is our version of America first.
It never feels like the announcements are the same. Like the German announcement's always like, Guten Tag, Fliefers kauft, Turfstiefel kommt Klarstiefel. Grebenstiefel zu den Umstiefel kauft, ruft der Tag die Hospital an.
By the way, Germans would never speak this quietly. Okay, when you hear announcements in Germany, they're not this chill. When you go to the subway in Berlin, it's going to be an announcer who's going to be like, U8 nach Berlin Stadtmitte. Zurückbleiben bitte! Zurückbleiben bitte!
Frau bitte für da, bitte unterkommen, liebes die und stimmt, liebes uns, lieben Tanz, die Laune da ist, du bedanzt. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We will be taking off shortly. Thank you. What else did you say, though?
I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of true. It's the one thing I kind of have a little bit of like mixed feelings about as a German because I love efficiency so much. But then somehow our language is really not that efficient. But also, here's the thing, it's intuitive. You can mix words. For example, the beautiful word Krankenhaus in German. Krank means sick, house means house, right? So it's a sick house. Instead of having hospital, a new word, no. We just have Krankenhaus. And then you have Krankenhausversicherung, which means hospital insurance, right? We just combine the words and they become longer and longer and longer and longer and longer words. But they're intuitive. I'm just defending Germany a little bit here.
They do that in the airport, too. Like, you imagine if there was a threat? Friefers kalf, rumpf, kampf, schläfert, rapers, propret, habets, hullet, riefers, kapet, hofres, lepet, rams, topfrats. Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, very funny. Very funny. It's a very funny joke, structurally very funny joke, but I'm deeply offended by it. Because when there's a bomb threat, we Germans wouldn't say because when there's a bomb threat, according to the Flugsicherheitsaufsichtsbehörde, paragraph 9, this is what a German would say. Achtung, Achtung, meine Damen und Herren. Aufgrund eines Sicherheitsvorfalls im Terminalbereich bietet die Flughafenanleitung alle Passagiere Ruhe zu bewahren und den Einweisungen des Sicherheitspersonals. Okay, this joke is by B-list comedian Robin Williams.
And I was once on a German talk show. If you want to go on one, it's a lot of fun. It's really fun. And I was on this German talk show, and this woman said to me, she said, Mr. Williams, why do you think there's not so much comedy in Germany? And I said, did you ever think you killed all the funny people?
Big oopsie whoopsie, and probably true. It is true, but when you have really tough things in life, the way you cope with it is by being funny. That's why black people and Jews are the funniest people. Germans, we went through tough shit, but we also caused it. You get funny as like a reparation. And we Germans, we fucked it up, so we don't get to keep the funny, yeah? Instead, we're very guilty. I mean, now the Jews are getting a little bit in the other side. They overcompensate. They're becoming a little bit bullies also. So now maybe they're gonna lose their funny a little bit because they're also gonna feel guilty. Who fucking knows?
And here's where it got interesting. She didn't bat an eyelash. She just went, no. At that point, even God's going, do you get it? German comedy. Knock, knock, we ask the questions.
That's a funny joke. Knock, knock, we ask the questions. I mean, this is great. No, it's true. We don't do knock, knock jokes in Germany because when a German knocks, it's not a joke. Okay, this is a video of Matt Rife doing comedy in Germany.
You guys are down for everything, I can tell, but like you don't want other people to see that you're down for everything.
Yeah. It's true, dude. When I do comedy in Germany and I tell some jokes that are a bit more edgy about Hitler or whatever, they usually look around if there's a Jewish person, which is weird when a bunch of Germans are just scanning the room to find the Jew, you know? And then when they find said Jewish person, if the Jew is laughing, then they get permission to laugh. It's kind of like in America. If you make a joke about black people, all the white people look at the black person. If they're laughing, then all people get permission to laugh. That's just how it works.
It's too many fucking bedrooms, basement creeps me out, attic's fucking huge. I mean, someone could hide in there for months.
Look, this is the German reaction to these jokes, you know? They're just like, oh God, you know? He's going for it. Yeah, I don't know. We Germans don't make these jokey jokes. I started making these jokes when I started doing shows in New York for Jewish people, and I was like, you can make these jokes? Like, I felt so uncomfortable talking to my Jewish friends because they would make the craziest Nazi jokes around me. They were like, oh, Mario, are we gonna go shower after the workout? You know what I mean? Maybe I shouldn't take a shower with the German, all this shit. I'm like, oh my God.
I'm well aware nobody in this room had anything to do with that, so there's
right? Right? And even if they had something to do with it, you know, it's not their fault. They were just following orders, yeah? My grandpapa Günther was a great man too. He was a Nazi for like literally a summer. It was like a phase. He was sent to war when he was 15, was captured by the French, and then he went back to Germany and stopped being a Nazi after that, right? So he had a short Nazi stint. He was dabbling, you understand? But that's not his whole identity.
How bad could the show get, you know what I mean? I get booed off stage and I have to take the train out of here.
He hitting every single one of them. He was like, oh, what are the German jokes? He's like, an attic, there's a train, there's a CK, whatever.
And if you want to file a complaint, take a number.
This is like my comedy. I hate it, dude. This is like the jokes I would make, probably.
I'm sorry. This is just like the only place in the world it even makes sense to do something like this. Anywhere else in the world, I'd be like, that's bad taste. Is anybody Jewish here?
Germany's not necessarily a vacation hotspot for the Jews. Maybe hotspot's not the right word to use. I'm just saying, we would love to have the Jews, and I think, honestly, the Jews would feel safer in Germany than in America right now. Think about that.
Not a good look, you guys.
Well, it's not our choice. We would have them. They can get a passport, by the way. Like, Jewish people, you know, they can get a passport if they had Holocaust survivors, or like victims in their ancestry, whatever. So there's definitely a pathway to come back to Germany. I get that you don't want to maybe come back because, you know. But I think it's nice now. It truly is. Imagine all the reparation attention you can get from people. If you go to Germany and you find a German husband and you're Jewish, then he will pay for everything. Just out of guilt and reparations. That's the situation I'm in right now with my wife. We paid for a very expensive wedding, which, by the way, guys, please see me on the road doing stand-up comedy in all these places. I'm coming all over the US, and all the proceeds of this are going to my Jewish wife reparation wedding fund that I'm still paying off until the end of this decade. Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Universally, everybody in Europe knows Germans just naturally don't have a good sense of humor. And I call bullshit, man. You guys have been fun as fuck so far. So far.
Yes, we're funny people.
Very fun.
Funny people. Some of the funniest people. Good humor. Good humor. We have the superior humor.
Stop that.
What?
Stop that.
Suck at that. I don't have to, because we won World War II. So.
Yeah, America has back-to-back world champs, but America has not won a single war since then, you know? Germany, by the way, is building the strongest army in Europe. Put the article here, which should be it's a concerning statement.
Where are you from in Germany? Heidelberg.
Heidelberg.
It's called Heidelberg.
It actually used to be Sieg Heilberg, which means Sieg Heil Mountain, right? But they renamed it to Heidelberg, which Heidel is a blueberry. It's Blueberry Mountain now.
Is anything like popping on a fucking Tuesday night in Berlin? Kit Kat it is. It's not like a members only club, is it? I don't have to be like invited in like a goddamn vampire, do I? Am I not on the list? We don't do those here anymore.
Oh, this one guy put his Hitler stash. Look at this. This guy is like slowly turning into Adolf. You know, he's slowly doing the little Hitler stash, you know. That's what Germans do when we don't want to laugh. We just, you know, do this. It's like a muscle memory kind of thing. It happens to the best of us. Well, these were very unfunny and deeply offensive jokes about my culture. I'm kidding. These are all great comedians. Check out their stuff and also check me out on tour. I'm doing comedy all over the world. I'm coming to Canada soon. Okay, I'm doing a European tour next year. So please go to MaroAdrian.com, sign up for my email list, find out when I'm coming to your city, and comment below what I should react to next. Thanks for your attention to this matter. Shabbat shalom.